He's sleeping, so I'll talk quietly. Oh, hi baby. This is Miso. He was born in July, so he's not even a year old yet. And you've actually met Miso before in some of my cat yoga footage. So his name at the shelter was actually Tiny Tim, and he was at our local cat cafe for about 2 months. And then we adopted him. So I actually met him for the first time when I went to the cat cafe on my birthday to have a little curry, and he sat across from me. I'll put a picture up. It was really cute. And then he actually cuddled up with me when I went to cat yoga the day after Willow died. He cuddled up with me after Shavasana, and in general he would come up to me a lot during yoga. And then about a month after Willow died, our house just felt so empty, just like the three of us, and it was hard trying to decide like if we were ready for another cat or not, but I'm so happy we got him. He's been an absolute gem. He's just the sweetest boy. He's just the sweetest little boy. Hi, baby. Aw. He loves naps, but he's also very silly. Wanna say hi to the camera? Oh, when he sleeps, he sleeps. He's such a sleepy boy. So yeah, I'm introducing you to Miso, who has somehow already appeared on this YouTube channel before he even joined our home. We got him at the end of March, and it's been an absolute comfort to have him. So now I like to say that I have 3 cats. Just one of them is in ash form. Willow sleeps next to us. Her ashes are on our bedside table. And then Miso and Plume have been hanging out. They've actually been getting along pretty well, which is good news. And he's really added a lot of life and smiles to our home, and I think that's something we really needed. It's been really therapeutic to have him, and I think it's been helping all of us recover from Willow's loss. Very self-conscious about like people thinking that I'm replacing Will, and that's not what this is about at all. I'm not replacing Willow. It's more that we had room in our hearts, and we found a little mister who needed a home. We had room in our hearts and in our home, and we found each other. You'll be seeing a lot of him in the next videos, of course. He's an absolute angel. I love him, and I'm so happy he's in my life.
back from a trip a few days ago, and I went to the White Whale bookstore in Pittsburgh, in Bloomfield specifically. Pittsburgh is very neighborhoody. So this was within one of the neighborhoods kind of northwest of the university that I was visiting. And when I went to the bookstore, basically I was in Pittsburgh for less than 48 hours, and yet I somehow managed to get way more books than I should, because it's who I am as a person. So I first went to White Whale, and it was gorgeous. I'm going to put some footage in this video. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was such a nice bookshop, and we're also a cafe, and I was so sad. I got there like 10 minutes before close, and I easily could have spent a few hours in there in between the cafe and browsing their selection and their recommendations. Like, really great indie bookstore. If you're in the area, if you're ever in the area, please go check them out. They were so lovely. They were so nice. Let's find out what I got. I'm gonna put the bag away now, even though it's really cute, because it's really loud. So I put myself on a no-buy because I haven't been good about reading the new books that I've been getting, because I just keep reading my library books and my advanced readers copies and stuff instead. So I put myself on a no-buy. But I figure no-buys don't count when you're out of the country, right? And they also don't count when one of your favorite books of last year finally comes out in paperback so you can own it. So of course, the immediate thing that I picked up the moment I was in the bookstore was a copy of Sea of Tranquility. It's so beautiful. It smells so lovely, and it's so beautiful, and the typeset is gorgeous, and just like, oh, I just love looking at it. It's so beautiful. I love the color palette. I loved this book so much. It was my favorite book of the year, overshadowed only by How High We Go in the Dark. And even there, it was very close. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm so happy to finally own it, and I'm excited to put it back on my shelf. If you haven't heard about why I love it so much, it is in one of my videos. Really excited to finally put this on my shelf. It's so beautiful. And the book still smells like it. And White Whale have these really nice bookmarks that they gave me, so they're open from 10 to 7 every day. Located in Bloomfield, 4754 Liberty Avenue, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then the back is this like little retro pattern. It's very cute. The next book that I picked up was something that I've been eyeing. I've seen it around like book social media, and I've been like, oh, that would probably be interesting to me. And then I saw the description that the bookstore put to this book, and they wrote, sad girl book, but make it vampires. And I'm kind of going through like a vampire cannibalism renaissance right now in my reading. Like, I didn't think that those were topics that I would be into, but I've been really enjoying those books lately, and I can't tell you why. We can psychoanalyze me later. But that is why I chose to purchase a first-hand copy of Woman Eating. A young, mixed-race vampire must find a way to balance her deep-seated desire to live among humans with her incessant hunger in this stunning debut novel from a writer to watch. Love that. Love that. I'm so excited. Some of my favorite vampire novels recently have sort of dealt with that, like, how does a vampire deal with living in real life? Like, I'm still thinking about Let the Right One In. I read it over a year ago, and just it lives rent-free in my head. So does Octavia Butler's Fledgling. It also just lives rent-free in my head, and I feel like this will be an amazing addition to that. It's such a fun topic. It's such a fun... I literally don't know anything else about this other than the fact that some people who I know have similar reading taste to me liked it, and that sad girl book with vampires. So I'm really excited. Really excited. I hope to pick it up soon. Like I said, I got to the bookshop with like 10 minutes to spare, and with 2 minutes to spare, I found the like local authors part of the bookshop, and I'd already chatted a little bit with the people who were working there at the time, and I was like, is it okay if I stay a few more moments? And they said, absolutely, don't worry about it. To which I also said, is it okay if I ask for a recommendation? I'm looking for something like a little spooky, or like alternate history or dark history, because I really wanted to get a sense of the city from a mainstream perspective. I was also specifically looking for some Appalachian lore, and if you have any recommendations for like Appalachian folklore, I'm very interested. Please leave it in the comments. What I did end up leaving with was one of their bestsellers, which is aptly named An Alternate History of Pittsburgh. Shaped millions of years ago by the receding waters of a once great ocean, the land surrounding the confluence of the Allegheny, Monongahela, and Ohio rivers has supported communities of humans for millennia. In the past 4 centuries, however, it has been transformed utterly and many times over by the people who call it home. In this brief and lyrical book, Ed Simon follows the story of America's furnace through a series of interconnected segments. Accessible and funny, An Alternative History of Pittsburgh is a must-read for anyone curious about the storied city and for Pittsburghers who think they know it all too well already. What's funner than alternate history? Alternate history signed by the author. That's always fun. I got this kind of both for myself and for my partner. I'm trying to make it a habit that when I go somewhere that I've never been before, pick up like a more local book. So yeah, I have no idea anything else about this book. I'm really excited to look into it, find out more about Pittsburgh. I have a very limited understanding of America, I experienced a lot of culture shock. So hopefully reading some stuff like this will help or will hinder my understanding. I mean, 2 things can be true. I was at the airport the next day. And I was like, okay, I was in Pittsburgh for less than 48 hours. I only bought 3 books. Good job, me. But then my gate, dear listener, was across the store from the airport bookstore. And I'd gone to the bathroom. I'd gotten my coffee. I'd gotten my brunch. I didn't need anything else. And I had 15 minutes left until boarding. So I went in just to look. I went into the bookstore just to look. Into the airport bookstore. I just looked and saw a lot of the bestsellers, saw a lot of books that made my heart happy, and then I saw a cover of one of my favorite books from last year that I really liked, and I was like, I need a copy of this book. And the plane's boarding in 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna not think about it and just get it. But dear listener, can you really leave a bookstore just buying one book? You can't only have just one. And this is the story of how I bought my 5th and final book on a trip that lasted less than 50 hours. That's 1 book for every 10 hours I spent, which is not a sustainable rate. What was the 5th book, you ask? Well, I know very little about this. I think this was recommended to me actually by one of you when a couple of months ago in a video I was talking about the idea of like soft apocalypse novels, like end of the world survival novels that have this like that pull at the humanity of the characters. And I found people recommending the Silo series and specifically the book Wool quite a lot. And I had not been able to find it in any of the libraries that I'm a member of. I wasn't really like seeing it anywhere. So I've been on the lookout for it, but I also didn't know a lot about it. And then I saw this chonker. I just saw the word wool, and already as a knitter, I am visually attracted. I see the word wool, my dopamine circuits just start going. So I saw the word wool, plane was boarding in 5 minutes, I just grabbed it, I went straight to cash. Have I read the back? Absolutely not. Let's do it together right now. The first book in the acclaimed New York Times best-selling trilogy, The Silo Saga, Wool is the story of mankind clawing for survival. The world outside has grown toxic, the view of it limited, talk of it forbidden. The remnants of humanity live underground in a single silo. But there are always those who hope, who dream. There are the dangerous people, the residents who infect others with their optimism. Their punishment is simple. They are given the very thing they want. They're allowed to go outside. After the previous sheriff leaves the silo in a terrifying ritual, Juliet, a mechanic from down deep, is suddenly and inexplicably promoted to the head of law enforcement. With newfound power, and with little regard for the customs she is supposed to abide, Juliet uncovers the Reading's hard. With newfound power, and with little regards for the customs she is supposed to abide, Juliet uncovers hints of a sinister conspiracy. Tugging this thread may uncover the truth. Or it could kill every last human alive. Sounds fun. Sounds fun. I love conspiracies. I love survival stories. Oh, it sounds fun. I'm actually really excited for this. So yeah, I have a situation. So I bought 5 books. Let's see them all together now, just for fun. There we go. I have a thumbnail of the video now. Real talk though, it's actually very impressive that the unread part is so much thicker than the read part of this haul, because typically if I'm buying books firsthand, it's either books that I borrowed from the library already and I know I loved and I like need to own, or books that like I remember really loving or whatever. I try to not buy books firsthand that I take a bargain on, but I have a good feeling about all 3 of these. One day I will drown in books and it will be amazing. But I need to go put them in the right spots. So yeah, that's the story of how I bought too many books while I was in the States for barely 48 hours. How long is my when in Canada don't buy more books ban going on for? For secondhand books, it's probably going to end real soon because the weather's going to get gorgeous, meaning I will be secondhand bookshop hopping in the coming months. That's dangerous. That's dangerous because it's like, this book is only $6, might as well get it. I need more shelving. I need more shelving.